Hi. Hello. It's me, Goose. Oh God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh I am technically still recovering from the mag flu that I got like nearly 4 weeks ago. It's been fun. It's been fun. But I finally got my voice back and I'm able to actually start working and producing things. So bear with me as my voice sounds really weird and not as sexy as I would hope my sick voice would be. But in the meantime, I want to say thank you all so much for subscribing to my channel. We've really grown in these 4 weeks. We're almost at 400 subscribers, and the reactions that I received to my videos and the lovely comments, they really mean a lot to me. So I thank you all so much, and your patience as my body is wrecked with disease. just utterly wrecked with it. But I wanted to make a video in February because I missed all of January due to con and then sickness, and I didn't want to miss February where I've been like one video. It won't be as long as I intended because I'll lose my voice again, and I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like losing my voice. So let's just jump right into it all together. So in January, the second season to Castlevania Nocturne came out, and we all loved it. It was 100% way better than the first season. And the first season wasn't that bad either, but it had its moments of like, not so great. But the few bright spots that were in Nocturne, outside of Richter, who is my white boy of the year. He is my white boy of the year, was the introduction of two new characters, which are Olrox and Mizrak. And out of all the couples that I probably can get in Castlevania, which there are there's plenty of couples in Castlevania, I want to say that Olrox and Mizrak's coupling, their union is much more defined. You get to see a little bit more into it, even though there isn't a lot of time focused on them. You get to get a little bit more insight into their dynamic, which is really nice and awesome. So I want to first start off by saying I am going to spoil the shit out of both Castlevania Nocturne Season 1 and Castlevania Nocturne Season 2. So if you have not watched any of those, I recommend you wait till the end of my video and then check out Netflix and check these shows out. They really deserve your love and support. They are pinnacles of Western animation, and Powerhouse worked their asses off to make these beautiful shows. And I want to give them all the love. I want to give them love. So let's begin. So we want to first start off by the intrinsic hotness of this couple. And this could have gone pretty easily. They could have decided to just say, well, I'm going to make Olrox just this vampire god man who just comes in the night and steals Mizrak away from, anything. But they don't do that. They don't focus on doing it. They want to give you a little bit more development in Olrox's character. He's a little bit more complex. Even though the season is not really focused on him, it's just he's a vampire who is A, very old, and B, has just been done with a lot of shit. Okay, Olrox is just done with a lot of shit. Anyway, we first meet up with Olrox as he's fighting Julia Belmont, Richter's mother, in Boston. Julia fucked up. she done fucked it all up. She fucked it up by killing Olrox's lover, and that is what fuels him to go after Julia and get revenge for the death of his lover. And he does. He kills Julia, and he threatens Baby Belmont, which he calls him Baby Belmont, which is really cute. That I'm going to kill you too one day. Don't you worry. That will happen, but not now. And Richter flees to Paris because fuck, and lost his mom. Shit's gone chaos. Watching Olrox just kind of, fuck around for a while and learn about, the coming of the new vampire messiah and all things going in there. You can tell that Olrox seems to be world weary. He became a vampire by force. It wasn't his choice. to become a vampire. I believe he was a victim of the conquistadors coming after him and his people in the old world, and he was forcibly changed. And since he's come from a civilization that believes in a lot of Mesoamerican, I want to say Mesoamerican gods, he's already well aware of, the supernatural and the elements and everything going in between. So if there's some sort of vampire god or messiah being born, he wants to check this out. He's like, I'm down for this. Let's see what the fuck you're going to be doing. But he doesn't take it seriously. And I think that's a really interesting aspect of his character where he's like, you know, I am curious about this whole vampire messiah thing, but like I'm in it for the love of the game. If it means me, causing some shenanigans, I'm here for it. He's curious about the same thing. He doesn't seem to be a kind of person who is down to be a follower. I think he specifies that he's experienced following gods and worshiping idols, and he's gone for that, and he's seen the truth of it all. So while he's looking at this with curiosity, he has no intentions of following the rules, absolutely zero intentions. I wouldn't be surprised if his intention was to actually just kill the vampire sire when he had a chance, but he gets sidetracked. He gets sidetracked by a big button, a smile, or a frown, which is valid, very valid. And he gets sidetracked by the Templar Mizrak, who is part of a brotherhood. I think this was during the Crusades. I think one of the Crusades, which, pause, by the way, I had no idea there was multiple Crusades. I thought there was just one big crusade. There's like 11 of these fucking things. What the shit? Anyway, Anyway, he goes ahead and he spies Mizrak, and I want to say his gaydar went off. He's like, this is someone I need to fuck with, both in literal and physical sense. I need to fuck with him. And Mizrak comes off as a character he's very much devoted. He's devoted to his cause. He's devoted to God. But the irony of the situation for Mizrak is that the man who he is following and following the word of God, the Forge Master, is actually in collusion with the vampires to make some sort of vampire messiah. And he's kind of in conflict with it. Like, you got to remember, this isn't the modern era. This is like right. This is during the French Revolution. I'm not gonna say that we were the prehistoric dinosaur or anything like that, but when you are a person of faith and you're devoted to faith and you put everything on a line for the faith and you watch your brothers die for the faith, you're thinking that this is going to be leading the world to salvation, because at this point during the revolution, it seems like the world's going completely crazy. Everything's turning upside down. He's watching the common people overthrow the royalty and chopping off heads, and he wants to bring back people to God. They're going away from God. He wants to bring people back to God. But Mizrak has a secret. He has a secret that he has kept, which I believe very many queer people can relate to. That is that, well, he's gay. He's gay. And Olrox, while he pounces upon him and toys with him a little bit, he can tell that there is this longing for Mizrak. And so that's why they hit it off. Like, granted, it's a forbidden kind of thing. I mean, for God's sake, Olrox is a vampire and Mizrak is a guy who's, there to kill monsters. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm going to hold on for a minute. I'm going to cough a little bit. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Oh, why? Well, Olrox is a vampire creature of the night, and Mizrak is there to, bring bring light to darkness. There's both of them have this sort of shared conflict where they both were in similar states. Mizrak is where Olrox was when he was still human, where he followed a god, where he followed fervent to beliefs, where he believed in, serving, these supernatural or godly forces that would protect him. And he talks about, when he was taken by a conquistador and made to a vampire, he talked about, how he, prayed to the gods to, smite the intruders to do some intruders. And nobody helped. Nobody came. Nobody saved him. And his people were completely wiped out. And Mizrak being young is still following that concept of, what he's doing is right, what he's doing is holy, despite the fact that he knows the man that he's working for, the Forge Master, is doing unholy things. So Olrox is looking at Mizrak and saying to himself, dude, you are a walking contradiction at this point, dude. Your cause is not is tainted. It's not going to work the way you think it's going to work. But Mizrak still holds that belief because he is a very devoted and loyal person, and that just makes Ulrich love him even more. I love this boy so much. He's so down, but I love him. And so, heading towards the events at the end of season 1, where Elizabeth and my girl Drolta have finished their transformation, finished their ceremony. The loss of Tina as she becomes a vampire bitten by Elizabeth because the Forge Master was going to sacrifice his daughter to Elizabeth, which is kind of fucked up. They have to flee the town because they're about to get completely killed, and Alker comes to the rescue and saves them. Mizrak pretty much tells Olrox, tells her straight up, like, you have no soul, you have no compassion, you don't have no care, How can I, trust someone that is ungodly, that is corrupted? You don't know, you don't have anything, you don't really love anything because you're not human. And it's from the outside when we're looking at him saying these words, it seems cruel. It seems vicious. And we gotta remember, this is also under the layer of period homophobia, where loving another man in this way is a sin, and loving another man like this who happens to be a vampire is going to be an ultra mega sin. But the irony of, again, him serving a guy who is in collusion with the demons is something that he grapples with because he's thinking that this might be right, that there's a reason beyond all this. They're gonna fix things. Like he's not giving up his faith, but he feels that Olrox was tempting him away from that, and he couldn't trust someone who wasn't going to be able to serve a higher purpose. But it was all deflection. It was all like, I can't give my love to you because I am a servant of God. I can't share that same level of love and devotion with you because you are of the night creature. I'm already carrying enough sins as it is, working with the Forge Master and creating these monsters. I can't give that up. So needless to say, shit got really bad, and Alucard comes out of nowhere and saves everybody, like the beautiful moon spirit that he is. He's so beautiful. Oh my God, he's so gorgeous. Can we just look at Alucard for a moment? Look at how beautiful he is. He's just so pretty. Okay, he's just so pretty. Now, we fast forward to season 2 of Nocturne. Shit's not gotten much better. Shit has not improved. The improvement has not happened. It's still pretty bad. The monarchy is being, getting their heads cut off. The countryside is being attacked by night creatures. The people are pissed. Revolution is happening. Shit's gone tits up. And Mizrak is now understanding that the way that he was fighting, the way that he was operating, watching the Forge Master dig up the bodies of his fallen brothers and turn them into monsters, is like, is that going to be my fate if I keep going this way? Like, if I keep fighting alongside the Forge Master, am I going to become some sort of forged monster? And the biggest moment that happens between Olrox and Mizrak is that Olrox continually follows Mizrak. He's always lurking in the shadows. Like, he doesn't really actively get too much involved because he respects Olrox's space. I mean, he respects Mizrak's space. But that longing to be with him, that longing to just, he found comfort in Mizrak's presence. It maybe could have reminded him of his former love, or maybe reminded him of himself, but he cares deeply for Mizrak and respects him and wants to protect him. And this comes into full fashion when the French army goes and attacks, I guess, I forgot, they go and attack the people who are, rebelling. I mean, this is the French Revolution, everybody's rebelling against each other. And the Forge Master unleashes the monsters. Elizabeth unleashes the monsters to go after the people, and they get completely slaughtered. And Mizrak is feeling like, I gotta get in there. I gotta get in there and fight. I have to help these people. And he's stopped by Olrox. He keeps them and tells them, like, what you're running from is repression, is denial of what you truly love, what you truly care for. And I can't let you I cannot let you kill yourself. Those people are doomed. I need to reach you somehow. And it goes into a beautiful moment of Olrox holding Mizrak. And Mizrak, not while he's initially trying to break his hold, he is eventually, it's true. It's true. I am afraid of going out there and dying and being turned to a monster, but also I'm afraid of going out there and leaving your side, of being away from you, of all this inner conflict of, I'm in love with another man and this man happens to be a monster. And what do I do? What can I do, God? What is happening to me? What should I do? And Mizrak just is broken at this point. He wants to save people. He wants to fight and do things good, but he also has a fear of death. And I don't think he's ever really had that happen to him during his whole crusading thing. I think he's always just been, whatever, serve God, cool, whatever. But then he meets up with Olrox, and that connection to a physical person, monster or otherwise, just keeps them grounded in the fear of loss, the fear of being away, being separated from them. But but afterwards, when Olrox releases his hold and Mizrak is alone again, he's confronted with the idea of, like, okay, I gotta make up my mind. I gotta decide what I need to do. I have to make the choice to fight and to love. And we get to the climax of the whole entire battle where, we're going against Elizabeth, and, my baby girl Annette has absorbed second man being. She's doing some battle, and she's fighting things up. And Olrox and Mizrak, they're all fighting with Alucard. They're doing some shit. They're wrecking shit up. And predictably, predictably, Mizrak is stabbed by one of the vampire disciples. It's a fatal wound. And this is a wonderful moment where Olrox senses something's wrong with his Bufang. His Bufang is hurt. And he immediately leaves the battle, like, fuck you, I don't give a shit. I'm going to my Bufang. He's bleeding. I need to protect my baby. And Alucard is just like, listen, man, he's a good man, and this is the second time you saved my life. And we've been, and in the Castlevania community, have been sitting here wondering to ourselves, motherfucker, what do you mean you the second time you saved your life? We need, it's kind of like our moment of what happened in Budapest from the Avengers. What happened to have Olrox and Alucard meet? Did they fuck? I need answers. I need answers, Papa Deets. Papa Deets, if you're out there, give me some answers if they did or not. But all this leads up to Mizrak with Olrox completely leaving the battlefield. He does not give a shit what happens. He does not care. He has taken his baby. He's taken him somewhere safe. And although Mizrak is injured, and is about to die, he clings to Olrox because that's where he wants to be. He wants to be with the one he loves. And we get to the ending, and this is a moment where some people might have had some issue, some contestment with it, because it does happen. And the thing about vampires is that they can be creatures of appetite. They can be creatures of having one focus, one emotion, one thing that drives them to do what they do, to make what they happen. And the irony of the situation is that Olrox becomes sort of like what happened to Conquistador, where he removes the consent from Mizrak and turns him into a vampire. But on the flip side of that, Mizrak confessed to Olrox that he is afraid of dying. He's afraid of being turned to a monster. He's afraid of burning and suffering in hell for all eternity because of all of his sins. He's afraid. He does not want to die. He's definitely afraid of that. And that's kind of a subtle, not so subtle way of saying, can you help me? Can you save me? And Olrox says, oh, don't worry. The devil will not have you. I will not let that happen. And it's a beautiful scene of Olrox taking of Olrox biting Mizrak and turning him into a vampire. It's nothing really dramatic. It's very soft. It's very quiet. It's a very quiet taking of a life to restore a life, of keeping your love close. And we see later on in the credits that, Mizrak is standing at the window, his eyes are red. He turns to look at Olrox and they have quite possibly the best sex either of them have had in a very long time as Olrox welcomes Mizrak as his new love permanently. He becomes one of the night and drinks his blood, and they again probably have knockout drag out relations with it. And we question mark don't know what happens. We don't know how this ends. We are assuming this is a good bad end. That we don't know. We're gonna hope whatever if there's a season 3 that they'll talk about it, because I need to know what happens to them in season 3. I need closure with them. Are they gonna be okay? Are they gonna be like my girls from the first season of Castlevania, my lesbian queens who say, fuck this final fight. Let's go to the mountains and live together. Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want. I need to have that happen for Olrox and Mizrak. And I want to just do a brief talk about how, cycles kind of chain us to certain events. Like I said, Olrox was a devoted disciple to his gods. Sorry, my brain is turned to mush. But he was a disciple just like Mizrak was a disciple of God. And both Mizrak and Olrox were seemingly not saved by either gods when the time came. And Mizrak had had centuries of loneliness, of being with a lover that he's probably had multiple lovers or multiple boyfriends. Who the hell knows? But what the one that was taken away from by Julia Belmont set him on his path that led him to Mizrak, where Mizrak watched all of his brothers die and were turned into monsters. And his fear of letting that happen to him, despite his loyalty, despite his devotion to God, it was not God that saved him on that bed when he was bleeding. It was a demon. It was a vampire. It was darkness that brought him in. It pulled him away from the light and brought him into darkness. And so that has to have some sort of mental conflict with him. And I kind of want to see if season 3 goes a little bit more depth with that happening. I really want to see that happen. So that's it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I know what's really the most in-depth discussion about these characters. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. So to cut things short, there might be a little bit more text in this video than originally planned. But that's it. I just really want to do a quick little talk about one of my favorite characters, set of characters that were in Castlevania Nocturne season 2. And I highly do recommend, if you have Netflix, to just go ahead and watch both seasons of it. I think you'll absolutely love them. They're very good, and give all the love to all the voice actors, the animators, the artists, and the creators that were involved in this project. It was very beautiful, and I love it very much. I will hopefully see you guys next time, and hopefully when I have my voice back, and I'll be able to talk about other things. One of the videos I wanted to talk about was, convention stuff, because I'm a convention artist, as well as some more tropes. Eventually talk about my enemies to lovers. Eventually I'll do that. But for now, thank you for watching. My name is Goose. I need to drink a lot of tea and sleep. You guys stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.